Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining me on the live stream. For those that are still to join us, thank you very much for taking the time out. This is basically to share your experiences with precious metals, why you got into it, what you consider to be the best options for stacking, why precious metals as well. What made you get interested in precious metals at that stage. We'll talk about my experiences as well, and obviously I'll gone through a couple of websites here to get some information for those that are still fairly new to the subject. Silver Wolverine, man, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Good. Hopefully notification, everyone got the notification. I put up the thumbnail yesterday, just to let people know. This is probably going to be a weekly thing, so every Sunday we'll be having a chat. I hope to have a webcam as well at some point, so we'll do a proper face-to-face. Laughter says, here to learn. There we go, Laughter. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us here, Jody. Oh, wow, Jody, man. I saw your comment there the other day. Fantastic. Again, thanks for joining us. Jimmy Johnny says, howdy. Hey, Jimmy Johnny, how are you doing? Good to see you. Another good channel there, Silver Wolverine. He's got some good content. Just loaded up the video there earlier about the American Silver Eagle, the 75th anniversary, which is going to be an interesting one. But be sure to check him out there, Silver Wolverine. My name's Silver Limey79. Been involved in precious metals from a YouTube perspective, which was last year. First got involved, started stacking. Well, it's been 2 years. Yeah, it certainly has been, Jody. Yeah, sorry, the year before, beg your pardon, September. Jeez, where's the time gone? Started essentially with silver. My portfolio tended to be 100% silver all the way. The realization for me was, well, it was affordable. Silver gives you that edge of getting into the precious metals market because A, it's affordable, it's easily accessible. You can go down to your LCS, you can pretty much go down, or you can buy online, go to a bullion deal online, and you can pretty much get it, and it doesn't cost too much to have it. Gold, on the other hand, obviously a lot more expensive for some people. Obviously, it depends on how you stack, what you prefer. I initially just started off with silver, and then gradually I realized that I was overexposed in silver based on the market values. So I decided to adjust my portfolio and incorporate some gold into that as well. So I sold off some of my silver to make up for it, and initially it was 10.90, and I believe I've got it down to about a 50-50. Which is pretty much where I want to be. I'm going to do a proper adjustment and see exactly how much I've got. But yeah, that was essentially my adjustment. I'd love to get some platinum, but at the moment, what we're going to look at today, we're going to look at silver and gold. The main reason being is silver and gold have been in or have been used as barter currency pretty much for the last 4,000 years. So we're pretty much going to look at those two. I know there's platinum, palladium. They came much later down the line, but silver and gold, as we all know, have been around for a very long time. So we will take a look at that. Why precious metals? From my own experience, as I was saying there, accessibility. It gave me the opportunity to go and choose what I wanted to buy. Also, I like coins. I remember collecting coins when I was younger. Even my first major purchases in coins were 2002, 2005, when I first properly got involved. Sadly, they were taken, unfortunately robbed. So that was my my worst nightmare in regards to having precious metals. But I'm back again now. So precious metals, pretty much accessibility. I can decide if I want to buy gold, if I want to buy silver. It tends to be accessible. That's the reason why I would look at precious metals. Also, return. The way I look at it, you want some return for the money you put in, regardless of whether you stack or whether you purchase or invest. But I like to have a return, and unfortunately, my silver hasn't given me that. So that's another reason why I've diversified a little, taken a bit of my silver, reduced it down, and bought some gold with it. Why do I stack? Mainly as an investment. I'm sure there are plenty of those of you out there that consider stacking. I've got all kinds of reasons. For me, it's mainly investment. You know, I'm taking my current cash and turning it into precious metals that should be worth more in the years to come. I've been fairly successful flipping some coins. I bought some coins, sent them in for grading. Silver Wolverine's another good example. He's also done it. So I've also started looking at that, which seems to be pretty good. But grading is another thing we'll chat. But funny enough, Silver Wolverine posted a video about grading as well. I recently did one. I think it was about a 2 months ago, where I actually looked at it. Right, let's look at some of the chat. Yeah, lol, it's been a good 2 years. Silver Wolverine says, Silver Limey, it's going to get a lot of thumbs down for those who don't watch to the end. I might already have a record number of thumbs down. Lol. Thanks, Silver Wolverine. Good morning. Hey, DB Stupid Man, how are you today? Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, hi, I'll be working on my final high school assignments, and they pushed my high school graduation is pushed to June. Morbid Mike, geez, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Stopped in to say hello. Can't stay. Keep up the great video content, brother. Thanks very much, Morbid Mike. Really appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in. DB Stupid says, Silver Limey 79, do Britannias give you any relief from VAT tax? I can't fathom the upfront taxes on silver where you are. Yeah, DB, there are some places that charge VAT. I know if you buy precious metals here in Ireland, there are a few businesses that unfortunately will have to charge you VAT. However, I look at other alternatives, mainly in Europe. Being part of the European Union gives you some allowances, and you can get VAT-free silver just by looking at the right places. That's something for another video, but yes, you can. But yes, if, for instance, if I was living in the UK and I wanted to buy Britannias and I bought them from the Royal Mint or certain sources, you would have to pay VAT. But to me, that's another thing. If you're buying precious metals, you want to try and get it as low as possible. I know it's not always the case, but when I mean low, you want to try and get a VAT-free silver coin or bar, depending on where you're going to get it from. You can get businesses out there that do offer VAT-free precious metals, so you just got to know where to look. That's good to know. Thanks, DB Stupid. DB Stupid, how long have you been in with precious metals? I'll pretty much ask it all of you here. It's you please put your comments in. Why do you stack? What is the best that you stack, and why precious metals? I'm sure we all have our reasons that we got involved in this. We'll be probably streaming for about an hour. The Sunday live streams are normally about an hour long, but I'd certainly love to hear your experiences for that. Archaeology Mikeyoo7, do you have silver or gold coins? Certainly would be. Is it something that you're interested in? With a name like Archaeology Mikeyoo7 and the fact that you have either silver dinar there, you must have an interest. DB Stupid says, when eBay and dealers started charging sales tax on out-of-state sales, that was a big turn-off for many here. Well, funny enough, a lot of if I wanted to buy certain coins in the States and get them here, I have to pay import tax. I automatically see that on the item itself. Now, that's not a hidden tax, but you pay for it upfront when you purchase the item. I stay clear from those. It's already costing so much already, and to pay another amount on top of that, there are other sellers there that don't have that facility, and I guess that's probably something to do with eBay's doing certain postage and that through eBay. But that's interesting. They started charging sales tax. As far as I know, that isn't here yet. but who knows, DB stupid. Jody, he says Norway plus Germany VAT-free to a limit, or some UK special use schemes. Yeah, I guess that's probably another thing, buying used coins, ones that have got some kind of issue or, slight scratch and stuff like that. They tend to be VAT-free because they tend to be the sort of a reject version of the original coin. So when you go and buy it, you might go, wow, geez, I got that VAT-free. Look closer. More than in most circumstances, there's always a reason for that. And I know there is some kind of EU law in regards to that. It's called a margin scheme. That's why some online bullion dealers can offer silver VAT-free, because they're able to avail of that scheme. And that's only in Europe. But again, that's something for a later video. Archaeology Mikeyoo7. I collect coins because of the history. Okay, so Archaeology Mike, would you consider that an investment, or is it mainly a hobby? And is it only old ancient coinage? Laughter says, I'm a coin collector, but looking to start stacking to newbie here. There we go. So welcome, Laughter. Appreciate you dropping in. It's great to hear your view. So he's a coin collector, but he's looking at stacking. What do you think? And like I was saying earlier, in regards to accessibility, where is your starting point, Laughter? And everyone's got different starting points. You might have some that go, I'm going to get gold. You might get some that just, I'm going to start with silver. You might even get some that go, I'm going to start with copper. What are your thoughts on that? I just put a question there in the comments, so if you guys could just add your feedback on that, that'd be great. So Stevie Stupid says, myself picked it up a bit of silver in 2013 and started buying hard in 2018 due to feeling that the bottom was finally in. Well, that was back in 2018. So essentially, you've been in the market probably, 7 years then, roughly? You said you picked up a bit of silver and then started buying hard in 2018 due to feeling the bottom was in. Are you disappointed at all, DB Stupid? Because obviously we had that, because even though spot value dropped drastically, obviously the premiums kept precious metals higher. And I suspect if each of us today who have been, I don't know, stacking for the last couple of years were to sell their silver today, you'd probably make a profit. Because looking at eBay auctions there, I was looking at one there, there was a 2020 American Silver Eagle bullion coin sold for 26 euros, and it's the equivalent of about $28. Sold. That's a massive, what's that? $13 over spot. Something like that. And that was sold on auction. Crypto Elf says, I love buying when sentiment is down, when everyone has given up. So obviously Crypto Elf there thinks that obviously, well, the sentiment is down, it's a good time to buy because everyone's given up on it. That tends to be when you make the money, is you're buying low. Obviously not necessarily everyone has that facility to buy, but it's a good time, according there to Crypto Elf. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, I have a 1999 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle. I won from Robinhood Coins 2K Gore. Lovely. That's fantastic. Archaeology Mikey. I remember I actually won a bit of gold. It was my first gold piece. I won. It was a 10th ounce as well, American Gold Eagle. I wouldn't say won. It was a coin roll hunt. The fella's name, Clash Guitars. And I decided I'd spend some money on his, get a bit of silver, and obviously you got some entries into the main prize, and his main prizes alternate, and it just happened to be that it was a 10th ounce, and I thought, well, I'll tell you what, if I'll go and I automatically get a silver bag pull. So I got a Morgan dollar. I think it was an 1884 Morgan dollar New Orleans. And then when it came to the draw of the last prize, boom, my name came up. I was ecstatic. It was my first bit of gold on one, and it didn't cost me a lot of money, but I don't normally play those sort of things, but I thought, well, I'd give it a go this time, and I won. It was great. Good feeling. Probably very much like yourself. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says most of my collection is silver coins from each country. What sort of countries do you guys focus on? I'm going to add this in the chat as well. What is best? ASE, Maple Leaf, Britannia. Now, I'm only going to put a few in here. You might be thinking, yeah, what about this coin and that coin? We'll go through it, but I'm just throwing those questions in there, get your feedback on it, and then we'll work through it. Personally, I felt that when Trump came into office and that the stock market took off, that was a signal to buy metals. I probably should have been playing both, but I don't play. There we go, don't be stupid. I don't play the market in regards to stocks and that. I wouldn't have a clue. And generally, when I don't have the knowledge for it, I won't play it. There we go. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says it's more of a hobby than investment. Hi, Steve. Like many, I had a family member, an aunt in my case, that sparked my interest in collecting. Lovely. Do you stack? Are you a part-time stacker, or are you full-time stacking? It'd certainly be interesting to get your feedback on that. And I'll add that question in there. Are you a part-time stacker or full-time? There we go. Any coins from ancient to modern? There we go. So he's got a nice broad spectrum there. Jody says, I'm all out of fiat. I'm all out of the fiat world. Thanks to you, buddy. Thanks, Jody. There we go. That was the question I put there. I said, what do you stack? Laughter says, I don't have the finances to be stacking gold. I wish. It's pretty much like the majority of us. Like I was saying there, if I look at the majority of the gold that I'd got in my stack, I've either offset it with selling silver and then partially filled the balance in, or generally taken the money out of silver and repatriated it to gold. Half the time, I tell you what, I mean, I was just saying there that on the last live stream that we had there last Sunday, I was saying that you'd be surprised how much stuff you actually have in your household that you've either had for loads of years and you think it's probably not worth much. I was saying that I had the Star Wars collectible card game, which I started in 1994 when it came out. It was manufactured by a company called Decipher. And when I was in high school, what was it, junior school? One of the two. High school. I started to collect them because it was a playable game as well. And I had a group of friends and, we played games. And I pretty much collected that for the next 10 years. And when Decipher lost the license for the making of Star Wars cards, the ultra rares tend to be the ones to look for. And of course, they're flattened out. There wasn't much interest in it, so the values dropped. So I snapped up all the ultra rare cards I could get my hands on and kept them in my sleeves. I kept them there for, 10 years? I finally sold them 2 years ago. So if you can imagine, some of the cards I've had since 1994, up until 2005 was the last time I purchased Star Wars cards. So I've had them for almost 13 years sitting in folders, and I decided to sell them and buy precious metals with them. And there was still a good amount of collectors out there who snaffled them up, and it was great. Started my road to stacking. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, I don't really buy silver bullion, only if I like the design, like the James Bond Silver Round and the Queen Anne's Revenge. That's one I don't have at the moment. Well, I actually don't have either of them, the James Bond Silver Round or Queen Anne's Revenge. I was on another guy's channel there, John RMS. I'd said to him, yeah, what they should have done with the James Bond round, instead of just having one, they probably should have made one individually for each movie and made it a bit more of a collector's series. So very much like the DVDs where you can buy the collector's box, you could effectively they could start off with Dr. No and have a specific Dr. No coin on it, but maybe that was just too expensive. Like, for instance, they'd probably need to have Sean Connery or something. They'll need to have his permission to have his image on that one, or they could just have the image of the movie's title or something on the coin. But that's, I think that would have probably been a better option, but I don't know. What do you guys think? The Queen Anne's Revenge coin as well, that is very nice, but yeah, just haven't been buying lately. I just recently made 2 purchases, which I'm very happy about. I didn't buy any let's just say standard bullion. I went for some collector's coins, so watch out for those unboxing videos. A bit of gold and a bit of silver. Really excited about those 2. I stack for many boring reasons that I do diversify portfolio, recession insurance, savings, the lots. Right. So he died to diversify his portfolio. So obviously Steve has a portfolio of investments, and he uses precious metals to diversify it. So for instance, if you had stocks and bonds, or if you just had bonds, that's not diversifying. If you had stocks and bonds, that is a bit of diversity. If you've got stocks, bonds, and precious metals, for instance, that is a diverse portfolio because you've got more options. And what that diversity does is it reduces the amount of risk or exposure that you could potentially take. Like, for instance, when if I had 100% invested in silver, and spot dropped all the way down to $11.67 recently, I would have taken a pretty heavy knock. I think it was 33% of my portfolio would be wiped off. It just depends on when you bought. For instance, if you bought at $17 an ounce and it dropped down to 11, that's almost 50%. 17, that's 6. That's a good 35% or some of your portfolio. But by having a diverse portfolio, you're reducing the amount of potential loss that you're going to take. Jody says, I don't trust central banks, money printers. Silver hasn't moved, but gold mega moves. Yeah, gold has done really well lately. I think we can all agree on that. I always look at, considering when the last dip that we had, gold's recovered past that. Silver still needs to recover the losses that it had prior to March 9th. So gold, on the other hand, is way above that. Jody says, don't trust central banks and money printers. Silver hasn't moved, but gold mega moves. Sorry, I did go through that. DB Stupid says, Silver Limey 79. Most of my silver was purchased with premiums for under $14.75. Good man. When was the last time you bought something? When was the last time you bought precious metals? Add that question into the chat. Silver Stanger, man, how are you today? Silver Stanger, great channel. The first guy that ever gave me a shout out. Something I won't forget. Still haven't, but there it is. Silver Stanger saying hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Oh, looks like we have a lot of people that have just dropped in here, which is great. Jody says UK price is around £30 an ounce today. And that's probably because of VAT, probably sales tax, I guess. Would that be correct, Jody? But yeah, £30 an ounce. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, I will buy silver and gold toilet paper for the toilet paper hoarding generation of 2020 if they make it. Yeah, there was a bit of issues with the toilet paper had been selling ridiculously recently due to the current situations, but seems to have subsided. I'll have to have a good laugh there. 2013 purchases were less than 200 ounces, mostly $half when price was high back then. The dates and quality of the coins were much higher. Some of the coins were NUMI value on par. Numismatic value, that's in case those that don't know what NUMI value is, numismatic value. So basically it's not the base metal, it's the collector's value. Right, there's the question I put there. What is best, ASE, Maple Leaf, Britannia? Now this is, I have to choose. No, I'm just saying that depending, you might have a preference for those that are in America that are watching the show. You might just be ASEs or Maple Leafs. I might have the some of the guys in Europe here They might be, even though Britannia is more accessible, but they prefer the maple leaf. They might prefer ASE. There might be some Americans that go, you know what, I really like the maple leaf. I don't buy the ASE. But it certainly just gets things going. Jody says he buys by the bars. Apparently, he's got a 5 kilo bar. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says my main goal for my collection is to buy every coin from each country. There you go. I like the sound of that. Archaeology Mikey. Silver Limey, sorry, that's me. Are you a part-time stacker or a full-time stacker? So we'll see what people say. DB Stupid says I would say maples are best here. The spread on premiums for sale and buyback is best. Just my opinion. For myself, I mostly purchase junk silver. Rest is just at spot deals peer-to-peer. Okay, so peer-to-peer, just in case those don't understand what peer-to-peer is, obviously spot deals, person-to-person. So obviously DB Stupid there says that maples are best here. The spread on premiums for sale and buyback is best. According to DB Stupid. Obviously that says it's just his opinion though, but in his experience of purchasing precious metals, he reckons that the maple leafs tend to be good. Sorry, I know people are saying hello there. I'm just getting through the comments now, so thank you all very much. We're just over halfway going through the comments here, just keeping things going. Thank you very much for joining us here. Jody says silver premiums are a joke, especially now. I don't disagree with you. Blended whiskey, man, how you doing? It says hello, Silver Limey 79. We've also got Health Babe, who's joined us as well, and Blended whiskey again. Hello, everybody. DB Stupid says premiums and taxes are horrible now. Can't bring myself to buy, and I think that's probably going to scare a lot of people away because previously it was VAT free, maybe even some form of sale tax, I suppose. Now they're going to start doing that. Is that going to erode? I mean, obviously, if spot is this, and with all the taxes, you're going to be paying $10 to $15 over spot. However, when you sell it, you'll only get a fraction of that back. Is that going to have an effect on your buying power in the time to come? Silver Stanger, there we go. Just saying hello to Health Babe. It's good to see everyone here. Coin Collectors saying hello. Long time no see. Well, you saw me last week. Jody says, problem DB. Imagine if it really does boom to $100. For those that didn't check out the last live stream, I said $2,000 gold, and a $20 silver. Worth looking at. I'll put the link in the top right-hand corner. Make sure you check that out. Hi, Steve says, I guess I stack part-time. I guess I drink part-time too. Coin Collector and old coins. There you go. So Coin Collector, if you haven't seen his channel, tends to focus on hammered coins. Definitely worth a look if you like a bit of history. I've got a couple of hammered coins. I've got a Charles I shilling, and I've got Elizabeth II 2 pence, little tiny thing, 2 pence silver hammered coin. I might get this out one day and do a video for you. There we go. Everyone's saying hello to each other. It's a DB Stupid says, if it booms to $100, I will sell and pay off the house. There you go. Imagine silver $100, everybody. Wouldn't that be something? Hey, Blended Whiskey, maybe one day I can show you how to make your whiskey. Yankee Stacking, man, how are you doing? It is great to see you. Thank you very much for joining us here, Yankee Stacking in America. Big channel. Tends to post a lot of content in focusing on precious metals. Why do I stack? Haven't really given that much thought. There you go. Oh, yeah, I just went over a few there. The comments just refreshed. There we go. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, when I get my possible new discovery error on the 1989 P Roosevelt P for Philadelphia, in case they don't know, being on this side of the world, if P is the mint mark on American coinage, or in some cases, P doesn't show up as a mint mark. Dime graded comes back as a new discovery. I will sell it because a new discovery error brings big profit. There we go. Archaeology Mikey saying hello there to Yankee. Question was, when was the last time you bought precious metals? I just got high-speed internet. Bought some just as the virus crisis was starting, so in February. Yeah, that was pretty much the last time I was looking at buying anything. Archaeology Mikey007 put here, it says, I bought $54 in silver mercury dimes, Roosevelt dimes, and foreign silver coins and silver quarters yesterday. Wow. Okay, so you're buying a lot of constitutional, or what we refer to as junk silver. Sweet blended whiskey. I bought some silver at spot the other day, probably 185 ounces at $15.50. You've got some connection there, Davey Stupid. But I suppose when you're looking at that sort of volume, it's always a possibility that you'll get a good price. Jody says silver was out of stock for 2 months. One order took 3 months to deliver physical. Yeah, that seems to be a lot of issues there. Silver Limey bought platinum at my target price a few months ago. You got to remember last year, Health Babe, when we were talking, I was like, it's never going to be, it's not going back down. And that is the risk of precious metals. It reacts to the market. And last year I said there's no way it's going back down to that price. And all it takes is something catastrophic to hit the market. And then we do see those prices. However, that's on paper, not necessarily physical. The physical price of metals tends to be higher. Some say it's the cost of holding physical metals. That is the premium you pay for something that is in your hands. Yankee Stacking, just got another quarter-ounce gold maple, but I'll be back to stacking silver at some point. Wow, there we go. So, yeah, if a Yankee said he was going to be working on his Canadian gold maple leaf, the quarter ounces, he's on about doing a musket, I believe it was the words he was using. I'll be back to stacking silver at some point, so that's his buy at the moment. So that could be what is best. Well, what is best for Yankee is gold at the moment. I'm saying, wow, nice. I'll be. Hi, Steve says, found a decent deal on a 2014 Aussie 1/10 Battle of the Coral Sea. I presume that is a gold piece. Hi, Steve. Silver Wolverine had posted a video there of a 10th ounce silver coin. And when I was going through it, I put a comment down. I was like, a 10th ounce? Who's going to buy a 10th ounce commemorative coin? Probably some ridiculous premium, probably $25 or something like that. To me, that just doesn't make sense. They can put all the finishes they want. But again, that might work for some who go, you know what, no one's interested in that coin. I'm going to buy it. Silver Stanger says, I have 20 ounces of silver lost in limbo. What is that about? Are you still waiting on it, Silver Stanger? Although I suppose the postage service at the moment, you'd have to be careful with what you send out. Jody says the silver 1 ounce coin does feel nice. I got a couple. And I tell you what, there's nothing nice when you grab, let's say, 5 or 6 of them and you drop them one by one on top of each other. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. It's got that particular sound. I'm sure you'd probably all agree with me on that one. DB Stupid says, I have my name out there from the past that I will pay spot. Local pawn shops pay less. That's interesting. So he's got his name out there that he only buys for spot, and other people know it. I sure miss buying gold, says Blended Whiskey. Archaeology Mikey007. Well, there's always an opportunity to get back and get some more gold. Blended Whiskey. I was keeping an eye on I told you about the 2 purchases I've purchased recently, mainly collectors' coinage. But there was one piece of gold, and because I'd sold some coinage, some graded coinage that I'd had, I took some of that money there and put it into. Well, first of all, I needed to replace I replaced the base metal for starters because I had to. But then when I'm looking at that, I want something that is unique, resellable, and will return money in the short term. Those are my three key things. And yeah, I got those two items, which I think should do well. So be sure the notification bells are set. You don't want to miss those unboxings. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says, I got a 2020 Tuvalu James Bond 007 First Strike graded PCGS MS-70 silver round for my birthday in March. Wow, man, that is fantastic. Was that something you personally did yourself, or did you buy it pre-graded already? Oh, there we go. Comments have refreshed again. Let's have a look. Yankee Stacking says, hi, Archaeology Mikey007. Let's have a look here. We've got ST3V3N. Oh, I guess that must be for Stephen. Silver Limey 79, I'm back. Have you missed me? Stephen. I wonder which Stephen that is. Stephen Heath, I wonder. Just add a guess. Am I right, Stephen? Silver Stanger. If it is the Stephen, I was like, where have you been? Silver Stanger says, low blended whiskey. You only have what? 1,000 ounces of gold. Jeez. Jody says, Limey, what's your email address for PayPal? Jeez, I'm just thinking there. Oh, well, you really don't have to donate anything there, Jody, if you really want to, mate. I'll put my email address here. Yeah, I didn't put much in the title. There you go. Jody, again, you really don't have to, man. But man, that's really nice of you. Okay, Archaeology Mikey007 says, I saw an ancient gold coin in XF condition, sold for $340 in US currency on heritage auctions. Wow, that is some. Like I was half tempted to get a South African pond, which is the Afrikaans word for pound, and it was 1898. It was beautiful AU 55 grade, and it just, you know, when you're thinking of buying coins, you've got to have a limit because it just gets out of hand. You got to say to yourself, I'm going in there with such amounts. If it goes more than that, I'll buy something else. Because if you have a look out there, there is loads out there. Though you don't have to be restricted to that particular coin and outbid yourself and pay too much for it. So I ended up walking away. I was like, that just didn't quite work out. But that sounds very interesting. An ancient gold coin in extremely fine condition, sold for $340 in US currency on heritage auctions. Well, that I'm not surprised on. Blended whiskey, I do too, but not for this price range. We are seeing gold purchases signaling the likelihood of a global depression cycle. Its rise has not been confirmed by silver until this recent silver bump last week. Yeah, the funny enough, Yankee posted a video there, 5 reasons the worst is yet to come. Obviously with his opinions in regards to that. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely worth a look. 5 reasons the worst is yet to come. That's Yankee Stacking. We are seeing gold purchases signaling the likelihood of global depression cycle. Its rise has not been confirmed, but by silver until this recent silver bump last week. Silver went up a lot. I think it went up about 75 cents in one day. I think that was on Thursday, and there was a slight pullback on Friday. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next week. And I'll post some community posts there just with an update on that. Yankee Stacking says, however, I think the industrial focus for most investors' minds will keep it depressed for a while longer. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that, Yankee. Silver's been predominantly seen as an industrial metal. Once the industrial capacity of all the countries tends to go back up, back to normality, we're going to see a rise in precious metals. Currently, I'd say it's more investors and retail working the current spot price. So if you think about it, yes, where we are now, once industrial capacity takes up, we should see an increase in the price of silver, and it would be great to see a $20 silver in my eyes, because I think silver at these prices, it's really cheap. Jody says, health. I remember you saying that, and we all laughed. Yankee Stacking says, gold first, silver later. But it is coming. There you go. JT Coin Rings, man, how are you doing? JT, I see you do a lot of live streams as well. I haven't been able to make time to come over there and check your channel out recently. I've managed to watch a couple of videos. There's just so much content out there, guys. And again, appreciate you guys spending the time to come and chat to me and all the others here. Health Babe says, yeah, it is okay, and not the first time people laughing at me for buying uranium too. I didn't even know you could buy uranium. Can you take physical possession of uranium, I wonder? Yankee just saying there. Kendall Kid, man, how you doing? It's good to see you. Kendall Kid, wow. Jody says, I looked at that also. Silver Stanger, hello, JT Coin Rings. DB Stupid says, I picked up a 3 ounce of random design gold, 3.5% premium, most expensive purchase over spot I ever made. No joke. You look at the premiums out there now. I was looking at some gold, and there's the usual site that I normally get my VAT-free silver off. Obviously has a very good selection of gold as well. That particular company is called CoinInvest. And they've got the sister company, which is called Silver to Go, and they tend to do a lot of VAT-free silver. But when I had a look on there, I saw the premiums. I was like, my eyes just went like massive. Like how much over spot? Yeah, that's where we are at the market right now, and I'd hence why I've limited my purchases. Because if you think back in 2011, when the price of silver went up, was it 40? Was it 49? It was high, and then it came off that. And the main reason for that was speculation that there was a shortage of fine silver back in 2011. Now, that was partially correct. The differences was there was a shortage of 4/9 fine silver, but there wasn't a shortage of 3/9 fine silver. So what did majority of the dealers out there push? They pushed there is a shortage of silver, which they were partially correct on. However, that's how they sold it, and that's the reason why silver went up as fast as it did. When the market realized that that wasn't the case, it pretty much plummeted back down to about early 20s from its high. So it just goes to show the premiums are high at the moment. Are they going to last? I don't know. If you're going to buy premiums, I did a video there, bullion to proof ratio was 3 to 1. In some cases lately, I've seen it as far as 2.5 to 1. Would you prefer to buy a proof coin that's pretty much going to be a sustained value, whether the premiums go or not, or buy a piece of bullion that is almost double the cost because of premiums? You got to think smart when it comes to those situations. That's why I've been buying proof coins, because the values are there. You go and check on eBay, the resellable value is there, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be focusing on. Or just buy smart. If you see an opportunity where something it looks good, and as long as it's real, in my opinion, I would go for it. But yeah, there you go. The premiums there, nice and low. The premiums are very high at the moment. Are they sustainable? I don't think so. Health Babe says, in fact, I'll ask you guys that. Are premiums sustainable? There's the question. Are premiums sustainable in this market? Health Babe says, it's okay, not the first time. People laughing at me last year buying uranium. I'll be going to college for battlefield archaeology degree, not just studying in the US, but around the world on land and sea. That sounds exciting there, Mikey. You never know. You might, if you're on any digs, you might come across some old silver. Kendall Kid says, sup, Silver Stanger. A lot of hellos. Jody says, we're in a different world now. DB, I've achieved my goal, so stop buying. But man, it was fun buying. Things just does not make sense to me at this point. Maybe when the world currency gains some strength. That is another one. Have you achieved stacking goals? You have goals. Some people may not have goals. They always say if you want to progress further, you always need goals to achieve in order to progress. But certainly be interested. Do you majority of you, do you just prefer to just go out there and buy if something looks good, and then just buy here, buy there? You don't necessarily have a goal, a stacking goal in mind. Let me know in the chat. I owe you all a good drink, says Jody. DB Stupid says all the gold bugs I know have gone really quiet. They don't even want to talk the subject right now. I take that as a signal that there are no sellers amongst the savers. Supply will tighten, which is interesting because more people have been selling silver than more people have been selling gold. There we go. Archaeology Mike says the coin he got, that MS-70, said it was already graded. Jody says, Limey, got me only Peter Schiff. Peter leads and opened my eyes. Limey got me only Peter Schiff. Peter leads and opens my eyes, says Jody. Do you keep your Litecoin? I don't even go there in regards to the precious metals market. That's one investment where I've just really struggled with is cryptocurrency. I ain't gonna get into it, but yeah. Sorry, that's my email there. That's about Health Babe says Jody, Peter Schiff is one of the major gold bugs. He is always about gold for decades. This is this is an interesting thing. For those that watch Kitco, there's Kitco news, and obviously occasionally if you're subscribed to them, they always post. To me, it just seems lately they've been driving this constant buying. And if I look at the people that are on there, they all seem to be pro precious metals. So they give these ridiculous like they'll say, oh yeah, gold can achieve 10,000, gold can achieve 5,000. We're going to see 5,000, 10,000, maybe even $50,000. I just hate seeing that sort of stuff because I know short term wise, gold's biggest issue at the moment is needs to get over its previous high in order before we can even see those magical numbers. And the previous high was what, 1984? I think it was $1,984 an ounce years back. So let's just get over that hurdle first before we start posting these ridiculous estimates. And I'm sure the fundamentals are there, but let's just get over that hurdle and get gold into 2,000 territory before we can start talking these big numbers. I don't know if you feel the same, but I just see loads of those, and it just yes, Silver Limey 79. It is Stephen of Sheffield, the Lord of the Lord of Ireland. Man, that's Stephen Heath. Wow, jeez. I was just wondering. Yeah, I was going through some old videos, and I saw the comments that were there, and your name was there. And I was like, man, well, where are you these days? But yeah, good to see you around. Kendall Kid says, let's load up and party. Silver Limey's bad. Where are you guys at the moment? Just are you at home? Are you in the car? Are you listening? It'd certainly be great to get your feedback on that, but it's always great to hear that you guys are watching either one way or another. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says they've cancelled the cruise to Puerto Rico in June. We might do the South American cruise next summer. Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably going to be pushing their holidays for next year rather than that's even if you can get away to a holiday this year. But I bet you there's going to be some good deals to be had. Blended Whiskey says, I have some money set aside for a pair of Edward Green shoes. Maybe I should buy an ounce of gold. What do you think, guys? Oof. I tell you what, a pair of shoes are the way I calculate it is the shoes. Do I need them? For one, functionality. How long am I going to have them for? Is it something that maybe I'll wear once a week? Because I can either have gold. Do shoes appreciate, everybody? You buy a pair of shoes, cost you, let's say, 75 euros, 50 euros. Let's say $50, $75, $100 a pair. Do they appreciate? If I buy those shoes and I leave them in my closet, do you think they're going to gain in value just by me not using them? Clothes have almost a zero resale value, even from a pair of shoes perspective, and that's why the majority of them end up in jumble sales or in charity shops. If I buy that gold and I leave it in my cupboard or in my safe, something like that, will that appreciate? Food for thought. The Irish have the best drinks. Yeah, the pubs are all closed at the moment, though. Silver Stanger. Hello, Wingman. How have you been, Stephen? It's been a while. There we go. Hopefully we'll see more of you now, Stephen. It has. I'm a Discord junkie now, my friend. Would love to meet up, Blended. That's Jody. Silver Stanger says, going to see Backyard Bullion and Blended Whiskey. Wow, that sounds great. Well, it's a pity you can't stop here. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a bit off the beaten track to come into Dublin. Archaeology Mikeyoo7 says the USA mint marks are Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. Yankee Stacking, how is sentiment with your LCS? Are buyers calm or panic buying? That is DB stupid. I want to go to Arlo myself, but it could be a while. I see calm stackers are more bullish than panic buyers. Sorry there. No, Limey, you can buy ETF or stock. Let's have a look. Silver Limey, yeah, you can have a uranium oxide. It's more stable. I bought miners instead when spot was $25. Whew. Sounds great. Archaeology Mikey007 says, do you think we will save the cruise ships? Well, I think there'd be a bargain to go on a cruise. I can't see the demand after this, says Jody. The cruise industry will contract, but will survive. Small ships will go away, in my opinion. Yeah, they'll probably sell them to somebody. I'm sure someone will buy them. Someone will start up a business. They can get these ships at a bargain. One of the two. Everyone gets a bailout, Mikey007. Oh, yeah. Everyone's got to get a slice of the pie. Silverlamy79, you don't want to store at your home since it's still radioactive. I'm sure you've got an underground bunker that is lead lined, I think. The Fed is the new Oprah. Archaeology Mikey007 says, just wondering because cruise ships are relaxing. NWC is building a cruise ship dock right now here in Alaska. And even though they're floating the idea, they are in financial trouble. Yeah, I'm sure they are. Nose Maddox, man, how you doing? It's good to see you. Are premiums sustainable in this market? Let's have a look and see what feedback we have on that. Kendall Kid. Saint Stanger. DB Stupid says premiums will have to come down. Price may rise, but premiums must come down at some point. And that's probably another reason why I don't want to buy with these premiums. If I was buying just base bullion and paying over the odds, is that you're buying in at a high price. It's like buying at the top of the market, and there's going to be a fall down. That's why I gave you that example of when silver hit that record, well, I wouldn't say record high, but hit that high in 2011, and then 2 days later it fell down, is that it's not sustainable. You're buying right at the top. If there's a sell-off, you're immediately exposed. In this market, anything goes. End of the world situation's coming, says Jody. Noismatic says the more metals go up, the premiums will even out. Yep. But I mean, in regards to the people that have bought now, is that if you're buying at $25, $28 an ounce, and the market recedes and the premiums drop down back down to 18 and 19, you've literally got to wait until the bare price of silver gets to $25 an ounce for you to even break even. I mean, it's just it's a scary thought. Have you achieved your stacking goals? Do you have goals? The reason why I put that on there is because some may not have stacking goals. My near-term goals are met. Lifetime goal can wait. Plenty of time. Jody says, I upped my targets. Keep the ride going. Awesome. Awesome, Jody. I want to go to Greece, Egypt, Denmark, Scotland, Ireland, Austria to study archaeology, to learn more about the ancestors on the battlefield as well. There's plenty of history here. Mikeyoo7. Silver Limey 79. There are no public data for physical market. Most of the info are from dealers, mints, wholesalers, distributors. I will never pay more than 4% premium on any gold and 9% on platinum. If you're saying you won't pay any more than that, then it's highly unlikely you're going to buy any platinum, Health Babe. Because if I look at the premiums on platinum, are way above that. I mean, literally, when platinum dropped down to recently, was it $530 an ounce or something? I was like, yep, time to look at some quarter ounces. And then you go and have a look on there, and it's like, oh, okay, well, the prices haven't adjusted. People are just like, that's the price. Good luck. And people have been obviously buying, but I don't know. It's a big demand to look at that sort of premium. Gold change every month. Golds change every month for numismatics. Now I need the silver V75 Silver Eagle. There we go. So numismatics has his eye on that piece, and I'm gonna try and get one too. A friend of mine in the States, and I've said, look, please do your best on that. If it's available, get it for me. So we'll see how that works out, because that's definitely a coin I want. It's limited to one per household. That's the proof. The proof is limited to one per household. And when I see that, it just reminds me of the enhanced reverse proof when it was limited to one per household as well. I'm not speculating it's going to be worth loads and loads of money, but you never know. Once the dealers start asking people, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, you know you're on the money. I believe there's no date yet, but I'd say when Victory in Europe Day was, that's probably going to be the release date. I just see the collapse of everything else. Gold is the safest thing left. And that's Jody. Hi, Steve. No real goals, but stack when I can get nice silver for $20 an ounce or less. Hard to do that now. Totally agree with you there. Hi, Steve. I initially had my first year of stacking, my first recent year on it. I got to my goal. Since then, I've made it more a priority on the yellow metal. Has been more so a priority. And at the moment, I don't really have any short-term goals. If it's something I like out there, I tend to look at it more as investment and resellable. Because then hopefully I can flip it, take money out, buy the base again, and keep going it that way. Health Babe says, it's true worldwide, UST is the king at the moment. Yep, it certainly is. Numismatic says, gator shoes, definitely. Numismatic Spacey saying that if you put your gator shoes in the cupboard and you don't use them, they'll appreciate in value. Numismatics, every self-respecting man needs gator shoes. Jody says there's a lot of macro going on. Shoes or gold, I'll walk barefoot. I was going to show you some of these links here, but what I'll if you have a look here, it's got this gentleman here sitting around a table looking at his gold coin in his hand, and it says what to know about investing in gold. So what I'll do is I'll put the links in the description, and if you want to check them out, this is actually dated 24th of April. This is the latest one, so we might just go through this shortly. Initially, this one here. I've also got a silver one here, which is more. This is from an Irish website, so I'm not really sure on how the sort of feed. But looking through it, it's sort of semi-updated, but yeah, we'll have to see. I said I'd normally stream for about an hour. It's been an hour now, but we'll keep it going for a little bit longer, and we'll see how far we get. Warren Buffett is not buying anything either. Absolutely. I saw that there was an article there. Warren Buffett isn't buying anything. He has been accumulating USD for a while. What does it mean to you? Well, again, once everyone heard of the current situation, they dumped everything: stocks, bonds, gold, precious metals, commodities, and they wanted fiat. They wanted their cash back, which is interesting because that's exactly what Elfbabe's saying here. What does it mean to you? Jody says he's no longer in the loop. If we keep writing $3 trillion checks, our currency will be like monopoly money. So yes, gold does have 5K potential. There we go. So Blended Whiskey saying that if we're constantly writing checks for $3 trillion, our currency will be like monopoly money. And yes, gold will probably more than likely have that ability to exceed in value. But obviously, if gold's value, this is one thing you got to realize is that gold's value at 5K means that the US dollar has depreciated. One offsets the other. So if gold maintains its current value, then that means that the US dollar has maintained its value. When the dollar drops, the gold price goes up. That's Healthmate would probably agree with that statement. Archaeology Mikeyoo7. The only gold, if they don't make gold, toilet paper is ancient gold coins from BC and AD. Yep, totally agree with you on that one. Jody, what do you mean? Oh, there we go. We got more comments here. There's a nice steady stream of comments, guys. So again, thank you very much for keeping all the comments going. Got a metronome in the background. That's Nosematics. He only bought more airline stock at Feb, then sold 2 weeks ago at a loss. Probably saw that. Cut and run. Agreed. Next time we should go to the local brewery. Whenever you want to meet up, man, I'm good for it. Blended whiskey. Yep. He also sold most of his bank stock. That's interesting. The only gold that I buy is ancient gold coins. If you don't make gold, toilet paper. Okay, so Archaeology Mikey's focusing specifically on ancient coinage. And here comes the negative rates. Negative rates will make precious metal shine. Stepped away. Miss anything, DB? Well, you'd have to go through the comments there. We're just looking at various things in regards to specific questions, goals, and so on. But I think you're okay. What's the Powell interview tomorrow? Powell was the previous Reserve Bank governor, if I'm not mistaken. Silver Stanger says, Blended whiskey, no fishing this year. Our Fed will hit more keystrokes instead of negative interest rates. He already declined the idea last Friday during the Fed meeting. That was Health Babe. Agreed. Print to infinity, no other option. And that's my other thought, is that there's no way to solve the current situation. So you just got to keep printing money. Have faith in the currency. Trust. So long as the consumers out there constantly use US dollars, it means they can keep printing it. My family has been in the military since Alexander the Great. My ancestors. Wow. Two years ago, the Fed said they won't cut interest rates. Yeah, well, a lot of stuff gets a lot of stuff changes. TV Stupid says, Jody, do you follow UE? Credible threats. Mikey007, I do fancy Egypt and then South America for some pyramids. Fed is losing credibility, harder and harder to make threats. There you go. I don't know what these squares mean. I presume there's probably an image or something in there. Is it, Jody? Is it EU instead of or UE? That's we need to clarify that. Let's have a look here. DB Stupid says, anybody have an opinion on dealers buybacks? They seem to be lowballing. Absolutely, yeah. That to me is just shocking. If that's where they're making the money, then and the dealers are making these premiums, then they should be paying more for precious metals because it's like two-faced or sort of a double-handed move. Yeah, sorry, that's $25 an ounce. Thank you. Oh, well, and if I sell it back to how much we at? Well, we'll give you a good price when the time comes, and they won't actually tell you. And then when the time comes, you go, sorry, I'm going to. Oh, we'll pay you $15 for it. Hang on a sec, I just paid $25 for this, and you're only giving me $15 now to sell it back to you. Hard times, I'm afraid. Just sign here. There's the slip of paper. Thanks very much. And then they put it on to make another fat profit. But yeah, that's a very good question. DB Stupid there. Anybody have an opinion on dealers' buybacks? They seem to be lowballing considering the premiums on sales. Uneducated economist YouTube channel. I did not know that even existed there, but thanks, DB Stupid. Jody says no. Peter Leeds and Dollar Vigilante. Jody says I'll take a look. DB Stupid, buyback price of dealers is based on market spot, while sale price is based on their own spot price, and that's probably why that there's been a call for having sort of a two-tier spot system. Paper should have a certain price, and physical should have a certain price, which I'd probably tend to agree with. Is that or either spot price should consider the manufacturing cost and selling price of a silver bullion coin. So spot price is that's getting out of the ground, melting it down, putting it into stamping it into coinage. That should be what spot price is the true cost of mintage, not a slip of paper that says you've got 100 ounces, because that doesn't mean anything. But yeah, that's a very good point. The cost of the metal once it's left the shop, that should be what spot price is depicted as. Geez, we're keeping the comments flying. DB Stupid says the guy's pretty down to earth, good aggregator of the Fed speak and movements of the monetary system. I started collecting coins because I found my first 1913 wheat cent in pocket change in 2014. Wow, that was a good find. Finding an old coin like that. That's where a lot of the American viewers they're quite lucky, as they can still find old coinage in the coins of. We've changed coinage. Let's have a look. We had initially sterling. We had the Irish pound up until 2002. Then it became euro. So obviously all the older coinage and the old silver you won't see anymore. And now we've all got good for tokens. A coin that says it's good for a certain amount. Whereas in America they've kept their coins pretty much the same. So the same diameter. It's 50 cent, the dime is 10 cents, the nickel is 5 cents, and so on. It's all the same diameter. Healthway says low buybacks indicate to me that premiums are more about selling at what the market will bear rather than supply constraints. Healthway says Silver Lime 79, Warren Buffett's actions means that there are no undervalued assets. He is not willing to bid anything in the current market. I see no reason for anyone to sell now unless desperate and need cash. Oof. Yeah, that is a good one there. If anyone's selling now, they're selling because they need to. And believe me, there is a lot of people under pressure. I mean, the last time I was at work was in March. It was the last time I was at work, and we're now moving into middle of May now, and I should be back at work next month. But still, people need to pay bills. People need to keep the lights on. People need to buy groceries. medical supplies, I don't know, car payments, their mortgages. It's like, yeah, people are going to be, I think our own perspective on things for the foreseeable future are going to change based on the situation. That's all Babe saying. The same there. Buffett would be buying if he was in the loop on what is going to be saved, supported. I think Buffett is out of favor right now. Also, he doesn't want to die a loser. Jody says, I just love him to go. I'm all in precious metals and Bitcoin. Hilarious. That would be good. TV Stupid says he's being prudent. I am the same way. I am just accumulating USD at the moment and wait for the right moment to strike. So, are you following Warren Buffett's style of investing? Because that's basically what you said earlier. He's that old. Why bother? He was stupid. Just like Platinum, I stayed disciplined and it paid out. Smash the like button. Yeah, please hit the like button. We're nearly finished here as well. I'm going to put the links in the description if you want to check them later. Should you buy gold? And this is by a company, or the website is called thebalance.com. Should you buy gold? And the other one is why you should buy silver. And these are the ones are goldcore.ie, which is a bullion dealer, I believe. And you can buy gold, you can buy silver. And this one is just the basics, which is interesting. So I'll put those in the description as well. Smash the like button. Yeah, please make sure you hit the like button. It's going to help the channel out majorly. So I'd seriously appreciate that if you could just hit that like button. Got a split. Promised my daughter a picnic on the grass today. Be well, everyone. Thank you for the live stream, Naomi. Guys, absolute pleasure. And Nose Maddox, thank you very much for dropping in. Elf Babe says, no, Maddox, have fun with your family. Spot prices are a fix anyway. Buy Nose Maddox. So that's Silver Stanger. Yep. Mostly buy the futures contracts. They will never be delivered, says Jody. Archaeology. What is your favorite foreign coin design that is not silver and gold bullion? That is very hard there, Archaeology Mikeyoo7. I don't know. There's just so much out there. And I mean, we've all got our favorites. I mean, I was exposed when I was living in South Africa at the time to a lot of old South African Union coinage, even the old ZAR Republic as well, the old Paul Kruger coinage. And then in the UK, obviously being born in the UK, being exposed to the pound, shillings, and pence money, it's difficult to say. Yeah, you'd have to come back with me on that one. Maybe we'll do something about that. But yeah, we'll come back to you. Jody says, once the furlough schemes end, that will be a good week to buy precious metals. Yeah, you're probably right on that, Jody. We need some liming. Sorry, we need some limey TA. Technical analysis. Yeah, no, I just haven't done it in a while. Yeah, maybe it's something to look at next week. I'll think about it. But yeah, thanks for that, Jody. You are correct. It is listed in the contract. Most speculators will roll out the mature contracts over or cash out. Yep. Cheers, DB Stupid. Take care, buddy. Thank you very much. Really fantastic, DB. Good questions there as well. Good feedback. Thank you very much for that. Silver Limey 79. I don't follow anybody's style for investment speculations. I'm just pointing out one of the richest people on the planet taking a prudent step. I know, yeah, I wasn't saying that you hypothetically that you were, just you'd said this is what he's doing and you're doing the same. So I was like, well, you know, you can't go wrong really if you're following that guy. It's the reason why he's there. He's where he is. My favorite coin design is the Morgan dollar, Mercury dime, and ancient Greek silver coin with the owl on it. Yep, I know which one that is. One of my bullion coins, if you check my library, I've got a bullion coin there with the owl on it. It was many months ago. I did a review on that. Definitely check that out, and I'm sure you'll like it. May Gold Yen and Peru Souls. There we go. Athena Owl on the coin. Yeah, that's the one. Athena Owl. Clinton S, man, how are you? We're just about to wrap things up, but hopefully we'll see you next. Hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. I hope you're keeping well there, Clinton S. But yeah, check that out. The Athena Owl bullion coin, definitely worth a look. I've run out of time, but everybody, guys, really appreciate it. We'll do some shout outs here as well. Again, I appreciate everyone's contribution to the live stream. We've been streaming now about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to put the links for these two websites. If you want to take a look at them, you'll find them in the description once I've uploaded it. Jody, man, you're a legend again. I know. That was awesome, man. Thank you so much, Jody. Appreciate it. Something to invest in, some precious metals. Thank you very much for that. You're awesome, man. Really appreciate it. Great stream. Bye, everyone. That's Archaeology Mikey7. Health Babe, I like the meow coin. I'm sure you do, Health Babe. Health Babe, been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for spending some time with us here. Like we're saying there, I will get a webcam at some point, and we'll do a proper bit of face-to-face. It'd be great to show off some stuff as well while we're talking. But I will be doing some videos this week, so make sure notification bells are set. Don't forget, every Sunday there will be a live stream. So make sure you guys don't miss that. I'll try and load up the thumbnail on Saturday so you're prepared for it. You can set the reminder and you guys can compile in. Civil Limey 79, thanks for the stream. Cash is king. Keep US dollar instead of toilet paper. There you go. That's Health Babe. Jody, USD is toilet paper. Yeah, I suppose when you're extremely wealthy, you could use. But then on the other hand, money's dirty. I probably wouldn't want to be using it as toilet paper. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. So we'll see you all next Sunday. So we had Jody again. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the donation, pal. We got Health Babe as well. Thanks very much for adding your comments in there. Archaeology Mikey007, appreciate your comments. Thank you for taking up the time. Clinton S, man, hopefully we'll see you next Sunday, pal. And again, really appreciate you dropping in. Awesome to see you. DB Stupid, brilliant. Added some great comments in there. Thank you very much. Who's next? Silver Stanger, thanks for adding your comments to the chat, pal. Always good to see you. And see who's next. Silver Stanger and Blended Whiskey. Thanks very much for adding your contribution to the chat, my friend. Always good to see you. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. And we got Hi Steve as well. Some great feedback there as well. Hi Steve, thanks very much. Nosmatics, again, really appreciate it. Take care, my friends. Kendall Kidd as well for dropping in. And one more. We're going to do one more. And who's going to be? Stephen. Take care, everyone. Always an absolute pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Take care. Thanks again. And have a good week ahead.